Welcome, my friends, and welcome to your bi-weeklies going from July 16th to July 31st. So before I start, just a few quick announcements. Welcome to all new people to this channel, and I hope you're going to like it. So if you do, please also join Facebook, and for every share post it's going to count like one entry toward a possibility of winning a free reading. Also, there is like 2-question offer for $45. You can check it on my website under July specials. And second special is X spread, which you can see from my X series released last week how this works. It is currently for $50. So let's start. Hi Virgo, welcome to your bi-weeklies. So before I start with tarot, shuffle the deck, let's check the Love Oracle and Zen Oracle cards. So here you have forgiving and learning. It says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Sure enough, right? If cup is still kind of full of bad memories, you have to let it go. If you can wash it out and start fresh, which is a full card, so much the better. At the very least, let it go, because a whole bunch of cultures can develop there, right? And then this is kind of interesting. You got in a Zen deck this card Compromise. Okay, so I have my 2 cents on this, right? There is one explanation for the deck, and there is another explanation that want to add on. I think the same card came out for Aquarius. So check it out. In the courts of ancient Japan, the male attendants were often selected from the ranks of petty criminals who, by the way, have been castrated, right? So because of their intimate familiarity with the activities of the court, they usually were the center of the political and social intrigues, and they had to actually exercise a great deal of power behind the scenes. So now these 2 figures on this card kind of remind us of the sleazy and conspirational situation we can get into when we actually compromise our own truth. It is kind of like one thing to meet another halfway and to understand a point of view that is actually different from ours and work towards a harmony of kind of like opposing forces, but it is another to cave in and betray our own truth. So if you look deeply into it, we usually find that we are trying to kind of get something, gain something, whether this is power or approval or love. So if you're tempted, beware. Maybe those emails are not worth it, right? So the rewards of this kind of compromise can leave bitter taste in the mouth. And the second thing I want to say about this, as somebody who came to Canada at my early age, and I had to learn English differently, not organically, but sort of like from the book. Compromise means uniting 2 opposing forces. It is actually meaning making the best out of the 2. Where when you hear compromise word here, you're being told, well, you know, you always need to give up something, right, when you compromise. So let's see which one is it over here. So the bottom of the deck, you have 9 of Wands reversed. So this is the card of a seasoned warrior, somebody who kind of been through the battles, but somebody who is still willing to go further, right? Now you kind of like figure out the strategy, you figure out what you need, you figure out what you want. But when is this reversed, it's like, oops, the strategy didn't work, and I have been surprised by the events. So let's see what could be the surprise over here. Could it be that something that we will need to compromise about? Okay, Virgo, you have Queen of Swords reversed. Ooh, that's rough. Queen of Swords reversed is your worst nightmare on a bad day. Somebody who doesn't mince words, who simply had enough of something, and it's like when you try to explain to someone something million one time, and yes, 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 and all of a sudden like you just cannot take it anymore because you know for sure they got it. So this is when Queen of Swords reverse kicks in. That's the kind of a feeling. So it is kind of crossed with Knave of Chalices reversed. So it is a communication about some kind of love offer that come through. Have you been tempted with something? Have you been proposed something and then cut off? Or it was kind of like the words didn't follow the actions? We will see. Then you have King of Wands here reversed nonetheless. To me, this is always a guy who gives you any story in the book where you think, oh my gosh, you see, there's such nice people out there and I just didn't get this all these years. And then it just turns out this is the bigger BS shitter, right? Who just kind of thinks about his own needs at this moment, and he's willing to tell you anything, absolutely anything, to get basically his agenda. So Seven of Cups in the past coming to the present tells me about lots of options, and tells me about dreams, tells me about your world opening. And in Virgos, you had really tough time for quite a while. You kind of like deserve to finally breathe, right? So let's see what's crowning you. Ouch, anxiety again. It is like really lots of thoughts coming through it. In my opinion, this is kind of like one of the most unnerving cards in the entire deck. It's coming to you from all the sides, right? Look. And it is a 9. So you block here, you block here, you block here, you block here. Kind of like feels no matter what you try, kind of turns into dust, right? So what is in front of your tower? Whoa, lucky you. But you know what? It kind of like after anxieties, after kind of like having this wash machine brain spinning and spinning and spinning, and always the same thing. Oh, I wish I did that, or I wish they did that. This could be kind of drama queen attitude, or it could be, oh, I'm such a big victim, and why is this happening to me? And then Tower hits. You say, look, you know what? Dust off. Get up. Get up. I want you to kind of rebuild this. Let's see what happened here. So Tower is reversed. So just kind of like make sure you don't get stuck in the events, because this is kind of also giving me that something will happen that is going to kind of like get you. So I'd like to hear about that in the comments. But look, in your feelings you have the stars, not star, the stars in this deck. So it is not just the bright star. It's not just like looking up, but it's also kind of being able to stretch, being able to kind of fit, be able to heal, be able to experience kindness. It is a really good feeling. In my opinion, the best card in the entire deck. Like the card where you almost feel like you're God, right? Like you feel this exalted feeling, really, where you don't have to rule, where you don't have to feel subordinate. It's much different from that anxiety that you feel. So in your environment there'll be lucky breaks, and this also means big changes are coming, which we know from the Tower. But Tower is like, you better do this, and this is kind of, oh, look, that turned into my advantage, kind of, wow, cool. So play lottery. When this falls into this category, it's always a good thing. So yeah, another 10 over here in your fears and hopes. 10 of Wands in the upright situation. It talks about a whole bunch of burdens that we carry every day throughout our life, and sometimes we just collapse. Sometimes we don't hit the destination that we want to hit. When this is reversed, we are talking about, sheesh, I shouldn't be carrying this much. Why am I doing this? For what reason? And then guess what you do? You compromise. You do this, I'll do this. So let's see where you're heading. Lovers reversed. Why is it reversed? Why is there a sense of non-unity? Maybe this is what needs fixing. Maybe this was the person who is no longer there, or who you're not feeling that it should be there. Let's check. Let's go in more details. So, Seven of Cups, that fantasies are about something in the past, some really lovely moments, romantic moments, maybe being stuck in those romantic moments. The Six of Cups reversed and Six of Swords upright means you guys moved on. It generally kind of like felt, really, yeah, I shouldn't get stuck in this past. There is time, and somewhere else should be better. I need to heal, kind of mental process. But there was somebody on your mind, somebody charismatic. This can be your fictional partner, where you kind of like really dream for something amazing coming through the door. And this could also be you, King of Wands and Queen of Cups. This could be a couple. This could be that somebody chose another woman, and hence you kind of like withdrew. You got stuck. You kind of like really don't know how to get yourself out of the situation. And maybe this is why you kind of like said, you know what, enough is enough. And then you turn this Queen of Swords to say, you know what, I need this clarity, I need this truth. And you didn't mince your words because you felt betrayed. This is like sneakiness and betrayed. And of course, whenever we are betrayed, like we are not at our best diplomatic skills, that programming sort of doesn't kick in automatically. So hence you went to kind of a thing, right? Yeah, it was somebody you have been really, really attracted, but somebody who was unhealthy for you. It looks like that somebody doesn't want anything serious with you. And kind of just tells me on some level, now you get it. Now you get it. Back then, you kind of like, you were still romanticizing the person, but you knew about this third person. You knew it all along, and you still went through it. So you have to ask yourself, were you the sneaky one? Were they the sneaky one? Right? Because it can be seen from both sides. So in any case, some love offer has been rejected. Because it looks like the Hierophant reversed. They belong to somebody else, maybe even legally. And there is the Judgment card. You see, it's one of my 4 karma cards, and you have a second one. So already you have a 2 out of 4. So this stuff maybe happened in the past, but it's still kind of very vivid in your head. Vivid because you were hoping that this love is going to end up with something serious. But when judgment turns up in the upright situation, this means it's good. You're releasing it. It is time to kind of leave bygones be bygones and move forward. It's also a karmic card saying you actually are now moving forward. It's the next level. So there is like still some kind of closure that has to happen, right? 9s being the ending. You're still a little bit defensive over something, and it is kind of hard to admit to ourselves that maybe we are wrong. Because of course we are never wrong, right? Especially not you Virgos. You're like the perfectionist in the zodiac. I'm kidding. And there you go, the third karma card. So we're just missing Ace of Swords. So you know it's for the best. And this is basically saying just be very careful. Don't go like, I mean, full frontal with basically this. Don't go and attack on somebody, because now your karma can be affected with this. This is also saying, look guys, things are coming in balance. Look, and you're actually going to have lucky break. You're moving to the next level. You actually, this is not something new. It's not something that just happened on July the 15th. This is something that has been happening for a while, for maybe even last 6 months. But right now you're going through breakthrough. That's the kind of feeling of, okay, you know what? I was building things this way all along, and it's not working. So this is like when a sweet girl, or like, I mean, realizes she has to be hot girl, or when a hot girl realizes she has to be a good cook. Kind of like it's sometimes an epiphany, sometimes it's an event. Sometimes it's kind of like this is going to get you stuck. Knave of Pentacles reversed. Certain things are not moving. They cannot move forward until they get built properly, right? So if you have a car that has no tires, you better build it before it gets going. Yeah, you see, somebody was juggling here, and that's why nothing is moving. And it looks like you have to find a sense of who you are, why you allow certain things. I think this is bothering you more than anything else. That you are defensive. Maybe you were led down the garden path by someone. That's most likely the explanation, because the King of Wands is that way. They promise you everything. And then you got the short end of the stick. And when you realize it was too late, emotions have been there, anxiety have been there, and this is what it is. Now you're like sort of like all the balls are dropping. But good news, you're healing. Even though you're still not making decisions, Two of Swords reversed means kind of feeling not so much stuck, but kind of you feel head or heart, and none of these decisions are good pros or cons. So you are kind of almost paralyzed, but you do have certain ways. You at least to define wishes, the wishes that you want to go to. So to some point you feel like no matter what you decide, it's not going to bring you what you want, and this is why you are not going anywhere. But give it a try. Sometimes even blind decision might get you there. In fact, it will get you there because you're healing. You are moving forward. That is karma. Karmic wheel is always spinning, and this is the karmic wheel, right? And like you're on the upside right now, so this is good. This means that you're going to get lucky breaks this time around. Like, see, it is kind of sharpening your nails on a wand, and it's kind of like ready to jump. And these pyramids are not there for just decoration. This actually means this kitty is carrying the essence and the knowledge of what has been learned in the past, and now you can kind of like branch out. You see, leaving behind, and this is your environment, leaving behind what doesn't work. You're getting there. You're not romanticizing the past. This kitty is leaving because, you know, the mouse might be out there, the birdie might be out there, so it is time to check out what's out there. And this 10, so there is a 10, you have 9s, right? You have a 9. It's a lots of tying up loose ends happening here, guys. So this means, okay, you know what, I am caring too much. You are finally getting it and dropping the burdens, like dropping to something that is acceptable, or just like taking a break, taking a breather. And this also can mean secrets. And now this is also the Moon card also talks about secrets and certain things bubbling up to the surface. Yeah, you see, you are Virgo, you're a perfectionist. As I said, I was teasing you, but right now let's be serious, because look, lots of mental work in every category. You have swords here, you have swords here, you have swords here, you have swords here, you have swords here. So what's happening behind that? You are trying to get to the bottom of what happened. So 10 and 10, right? So kind of like you have to explain to yourself in your head, you want to close it. What the heck happened? Why did it happen? Where did it go wrong? This is really positive, Virgo, because if you get to the bottom of that, you really know how to prevent it in the future, and this is exactly what you're doing, and you never want to deal with this ever again. So in the end, you're leaving this person behind. The Lovers reversed is saying, you know what, it should be something better out there. Yeah, I'm burnt out in this situation, and there you go, you have the Ace of Swords, the very last karmic card. So you guys are winning your karma right now. You are burned out, but my gosh, you're pushing forward in spite of truths not being told, in spite of not getting a complete closure. Again, you get swords. So you have 10 and you have 1. So it's after 10, the new cycle starts. It's 1. It's still not upright because this is a 1 as well, but it is kind of like there. So as far as horoscope signs, again, it can be anybody, because we all kind of mixture of different signs. But you have Libra, you have Taurus, you have Capricorn, you have fire signs, water signs, Aquarius, Pisces, Gemini, lots of things. So most likely it actually really doesn't matter giving all these activities, because it tells me if you have this many signs that this goes inward. You see, you're going from 9 to 10 to 1. So this is right now in your mind, and this is where you're heading. So it might not be fun, but this is the healing process. And you will actually get lucky break in all of that. You will actually realize I have to open the door and get away from it. And you kind of have been mulling it over for a while. Maybe you already kind of made few steps. So this compromise could be with somebody else. It could be just with you to kind of figure out where you're going. And here, releasing the energy is really important. And leaving this energy behind so you can experience some new energy going forward. Okay, so let's see if we need to clarify anything here in your reading, because it's generally very clear. It's a good energy. I know it's not the energy where I'm saying the Prince Charming is coming in, but it is still an energy that is moving forward. The justice is served. The justice is upright. Judgment is upright. The Wheel of Fortune is upright. Only, like, I mean, Ace of Swords is reversed, but you have all 4 karma cards. So, like, you're like at 75% moving forward, right? But this is like definitely moving forward. So you're going to get burned out. Maybe you're not going to finish everything until the end of July, but this is a huge step forward. Like, what did they say? This is like small step for man, but a giant leap for mankind. That's what you guys doing. So check this out. Like, that's what I saw was person who belonged to somebody else. Yes, look, it was a conversation. Lord is also talking about a married guy. So it was the end with this person and left you kind of like wondering. They have Death, Messenger, Conversation, Lord, and Scholar. The Scholar is thinking same thing here, like, what the heck do I do now? Like, kind of feeling a little bit paralyzed. So let's see this Judgment and this Hierophant. So that means, I guess, you maybe didn't want it, because in the end you felt this is neither good for you nor for this person. It just kind of, things don't make sense if the foundation is like so tainted. So let's see, what is this Judgment for you, Virgos? Judgment for Virgos. Judgment. See, kind of like you're stopping communication because it doesn't serve you right anymore. And yeah, you're leaving this person in the past. You're kind of like filing it into your, well, not so much enemy file. This is a faux card, but sort of like in a card. Okay, I'm turning my back to it, and this is kind of like finishing. So let's see this. The secrets coming out and this kind of healing finally taking place. This 10 of Swords and the Moon. What is this all about for you, Virgos? 10 of Swords and the Moon. So again, it's like kind of waiting and knowing that you can wait and nobody will arrive. You kind of like would hope to get this closure, but you'll have to move without it. Yeah, I see you have that. You're losing hope about that person, right? So hope and enemy here. You can, don't wait. It's not going to happen. You have to figure it out on your own. And let's see this coming out of this. What is this with the Lovers, the Sun, and with the Ace of Swords reversed? You see, this is the truth you didn't tell about somebody else, because as I said, you're kind of moving on. This person didn't belong to you, belong to somebody else. You kind of deserve to be happy. You deserve that you have this cultivation of your own family. So this was like dual kind of thing, just like a sword. You didn't want to distract somebody's life, but also you didn't want to affect yours. So what is this one? What is this Ace of Swords all about? see the 3 people. Somebody felt too happy about these 3 people. Could be that you guys were with somebody who was married or really in a serious relationship. That is kind of sad. Truth not being told. So you know also maybe that this partner of your partner doesn't know the truth. Maybe you're tempted to say this. Again, karma card is saying no. Your karma is different. Your karma is moving on. You're like moving out of this cycle. So let's see. So this was some kind of embarrassment. So let's see this Tower. I really want to see. That's kind of important. What is this Tower for Virgo? Tower. Yeah, it is about what is love, and still feeling kind of sad, kind of burnout, which we do see. All right, and what you need to do to get your wishes come true, because you're going from anxiety to wishes coming true in a relatively short time. So this is kind of a good sign. So for Virgo, what is this 9 of Cups? What is the wish card for them? What do they have to do? What kind of decision they have to make for this to happen? Secret. Yeah, again, the reason why I'm not doing this is, you see the Secret and then haughtiness, but it's reversed. So somebody is really obnoxious, and the obnoxiousness of the situation and secretive nature of it was something that kind of like holds you down. You're trying to get to the bottom of the truth, because swords are the truth and the words. You are fully sure that this is not working out for you. So I guess you have to come to terms to that sometimes we don't get closure, and sometimes this compromise here clearly means you have to kind of find a way inside of you to accept what happened, and to accept that, you know, it can be 2 sides of the story, and it's never 100%, because at the time it possibly worked for you as well. So look, again, you're getting a surprise. Again, it's like this, really something really good happening. You guys understanding this is a biggie, because this is understanding that you are residing somewhere in between these 2 polarities and accepting it. And this acceptance is kind of like moving you forward. That's right, that's you. See? Compromise is your key word for this period. Guys, compromise and be happy. Move happy. You're moving forward happy. You resolve your karma, and compromise is pushing you to the next level. So my dear Virgos, this is general reading. For your personal, please contact me directly, and my contact information description box. Your monthlies are coming out next week, and I please ask you to comment, so please make sense of this, and also join the Facebook, because there's contests there going on all the time. And lastly, please like, subscribe and share, and that really helps grow the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I love you.